Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So this has got to be a rite of passage for every guy who has gone on a first date. I sometimes make it a habit to get in the vicinity of where the date's going to be at least 1 to 2 hours before the date. And the reason for that is if anything goes wrong, right? Can't find the directions, car breaking down, even a nervous meltdown of some sort, I can recover from that, right? There's still time to call AAA. There's time to arrange other transportation if needed. And it's one of those things that it's better to not need it and have it than the other way around, right? It's the same reason why we might buy strategic metals, right? It's best to not have to need it one day, but it's there if you do, right? And I the other side effect I've noticed is I kind of get two dates in one now, right? I get to enjoy that alone time when I'm hiking around the area of the date. Sometimes it's in a part of town that I very seldom go to, right? And if the second date goes south, that first one was enjoyable too, right? I've noticed that as well, right? Um, and God forbid if she doesn't even show, right? I still got to enjoy something at least, right? That hasn't happened, but it could, right? Well, this has got to be a rite of passage, and I even used it. I teach at a community college. I even used this example. I said, if you come up with excuses for not turning in your homework, you better make sure that you've already done everything you can to avoid the kind of mishap, right? If you're constantly allowing yourself to hang by a thread, right? So, for example, I told the students, for example, I recently had a very important personal event. I didn't say what it was. At a very important personal event, and I made sure I was in the vicinity of the area 2 hours before it. Why? Because I didn't want a car breakdown or getting lost or any number of potential mishaps to ruin the event, right? If there's ways to ensure against that, if it's such an important event, imagine the event were worth like $1 million. Would you not do that? Let's imagine you're going to collect your lottery prize and there's one chance of doing it. If you're late, you're going to lose it. Would you not arrive earlier, right? And I explained what was really funny is one of my students knew what kind of event it was. He was nodding his head, and then he came up to after class to ask some questions, and he said, "Congratulations, how'd your date go?" Without even asking me. Well, he knew it, so that was good. It gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling that other guys have done it before. The way he described it, it sounded like he had done it multiple times before as well. It's kind of a rite of passage, right? Once you're in a point that you're going on 10 different dates every week, you probably wouldn't resort to that, right? Just like you don't resort to showing up very early, at a job that you have a stability at, right? Your first day of work, you might, right? But once you've been working there 10 years, right, you're not going to show up 3 hours early just because you might have a flat tire, right? Someday dating could be like that for me, right? All right, so I get to enjoy like a pre-date date, if you will, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.